You're listening to the Spark Radio Network, internet radio like you've never heard before. Innovation, creativity, and imagination are all said to begin with a spark. So fasten your seatbelt and take the ride of your life and listen for the spark.
You are listening to KLRN Radio, where liberty and reason still reign.
Hey, this is John Preston, Marine Combat Veteran and Pacific Records recording artist. Just reaching out to have you check out our new album, Battle Cry, Songs of America's Heroes, an album featuring phenomenal other combat veteran artists like Scott Brown of the Scooter Brown Band, Ryan Weaver, Rowdy Johnson, just an incredible mix of people. This is all veterans telling our stories and our lives, and we're giving 100% of our proceeds to the Valkyrie Initiative to help veterans and first responders integrate back into society. I myself have battled with post-traumatic stress for many years and lost my own brother, a Marine Corps veteran, to suicide. I ask that you step with us and make this happen. We are in pre-order right now and release on March 17th. Go to iTunes, go to Amazon, buy. We plan on making the charts and making it at a very high level, and your support right now makes a difference. This is the release of my new song, Superman Falls, which is actually about the loss of my own brother, which happened last year, and I would love for everyone to check it out, to listen, and hopefully it'll make a difference in many lives.
If you're 85 or younger, would you like peace of mind and comfort for your family? We're Final Expense Direct with an urgent message for you. The average funeral today costs over $8,000, but the most you'll get from government benefits is $255. How will your family pay the difference? We can help. Our senior plans start as low as just $1 a day and pay up to $30,000 for a funeral and other final expenses. Peace of mind is easy. There's no medical exam. You'll have lifetime coverage, and your plan can't be canceled as long as you pay your premiums. Call now for free information about our senior plans. Answer a few simple questions and receive approval right on the phone. Plus, call right now and we'll give you a discount prescription card for free. Call 800-553-8687. That's 800-553-8687. Again, 800-553-8687. 687.
This is Slickery Trigger for Rebel Road Tactical. With proper care and feeding, your pistol will be ready when you need it. There to save your life. Shouldn't your gear be that good? Whether you need a holster for comfortable everyday carry or a tough-as-nails holster for your next training course, Rebel Road Tactical has what you need. Check us out on the web at rebelroadtactical.com.
Sometimes riders feel lost, unsure why a passage may not be working. It takes another set of eyes to help us nurture our writing into full maturity. At Black Wolf Editorial Services, we strive to enable writers to develop and grow, offering manuscript critiques and line edits through a mentoring editorial style. We also offer assistance on generating a writer's bio for your websites. Black Wolf Editorial Services, nurturing your writing into maturity. For a full list of services, visit blackwolfeditorial.com.
Here's George Foreman with InventHelp.
Hi, I'm George Foreman. Do you have an idea for a new product or invention? People ask me all the time, George, how do I get my idea in front of companies? How do I get a patent? What do I do next? Do you have the same questions? I'll tell you like I'll tell them all. Call my friends at InventHelp.
Call InventHelp today for free information. InventHelp has been helping inventors for more than 30 years and has sales offices nationwide. InventHelp can submit your invention to companies who are interested in receiving new ideas. If you have an idea and want to try to patent it and submit it to companies, you should call InventHelp today for free information.
Listen, I can't guarantee a company will be interested in your idea, but I believe every inventor deserves the opportunity to step into the ring and take their best shot. Put InventHelp in your corner.
Get your free inventor's information. Call 1-800-353-6490. That's 1-800-353-6490. Again, 1-800-353-6490.
KLRN Radio has advertising rates available. We have rates to fit almost any budget. Contact us at advertising@klrnradio.com.
Here's George Foreman with InventHelp.
Hi, I'm George Foreman. Do you have an idea for a new product or invention? People ask me all the time, George, how do I get my idea in front of companies? How do I get a patent? What do I do next? Do you have the same questions? I'll tell you like I'll tell them all. Call my friends at InventHelp.
Call InventHelp today for free information. InventHelp has been helping inventors for more than 30 years and has sales offices nationwide. InventHelp can submit your invention to companies who are interested in receiving new ideas. If you have an idea and want to try to patent it and submit it to companies, you should call InventHelp today for free information.
Listen, I can't guarantee a company will be interested in your idea, but I believe every inventor deserves the opportunity to step into the ring and take their best shot. Put InventHelp in your corner.
To get your free inventor's information, call 1-800-353-6490. That's 1-800-353-6490. Again, 1-800-353-6490.
Oh, let me tell you something. I am so sick of Washington and all its works and all them politicians down there and them congressmen. I'll bet you won't find none of them congressmen signing down their electric blankets tonight. Because if they did, their secretaries would get up and go home.
We gotta do something. Absolutely. You know what we gotta do? Toga party.
Toga! 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 Toga!
I want you to kill every golfer on the course.
Check me if I'm wrong, Sandy, but if I kill all the golfers, they're going to lock me up and throw away the key.
Well, good evening, ladies and gentlemen. Happy Friday night. This is Robinson and Wright coming to you live right now from KLRNradio.com, where we're live every Friday night at 11 p.m. Eastern. And I am joined by my usual co-host, Mr. Dan Wright, also host of The Right Side here every Wednesday night at 10 p.m. Eastern. Good evening, sir. How are you?
I'm fantastic. I'm off work, and I am here with all of our listeners and you.
Oh, see, you just kind of threw me in there as gratuitous, huh? I see how
so
it is.
The off work is the key thing because it's been a week.
Oh, yeah, I mean, I'm sure it's been a week everywhere. It's been probably one of the craziest weeks I think I remember seeing in my lifetime, not even counting all the work crap.
Yeah. Very crazy week.
So I have been screaming and yelling and ranting a lot, so I'm going to let you take lead for the first segment. So where do you want to go first?
Well, I mean, I kind of put it out there in our promotional tweet and Facebook posts. We had, obviously, I mean, an event that kind of captured everybody's attention. A shooter that literally targeted conservative, Republican, however you want to put it, congressman. And I've watched this kind of evolve over the last few days, and I saw you put it out there with a story on social media, and I've been following the whole Guy Benson thing. On the night of the congressional baseball game, Guy Benson posted on Instagram a picture of him and his cousin, and Guy is wearing a Reagan Bush t-shirt. Now, for those of you that don't know, Guy Benson is, number one of my favorite people on not just social media, but the media. When I find out he's on a show, I try to watch it. He's fantastic. and he's gay. And he posted this picture on Instagram, and he got a response from a leftist gay man giving him hell for wearing that T-shirt because Reagan didn't do enough for AIDS research. And Guy sent him back some links to show him that, I mean, you know, at that time, AIDS was in its infancy. I mean, it was just starting. People were just figuring out about it. And the guy came back to Guy and called him a house Negro because he's a conservative gay man. This is a problem. When the left wants to put down anybody that's not just a conservative, but a gay conservative, because they don't 100% believe in everything that the LGBTQ or whoever believes in, we have a real problem in this country. If you're going to call a conservative gay man a house Negro because he's conservative, there's a real problem going on right now.
Well, I mean, it's not just that. The thing about it is they've just become so emboldened, and I think a lot of it is, I mean, think about it. Most of the, except for the established guys that have been around for a while, most of the left that are active in politics today grew up in the Obama era. They watched 8 years of Obama, and they really, really thought it was going to be year 12 and year 16 with Hillary. And they really thought that in their hearts and in their heads. And I have seen so many leftists that have just gone completely off track because they have no concept of the fact that they lost. They still can't even address the fact that they lost, because as far as they're concerned, they didn't, because they were robbed, because she won the popular vote, because they don't understand how our elections work. But they're so angry because they think they've been robbed because more people, quote unquote, voted for Hillary Clinton than they did Donald Trump. Never mind the fact that most of those people that we're talking about are in two of the most liberal states in the country. And if we didn't have an electoral college, then they would be the ones that would decide everything all the time, and everything would look like Detroit. But, you know, that's a story for another day.
Well, yeah, and especially the people that listen to the show, they know that we weren't Trump supporters. But, my Lord, more and more, I won't say I'm becoming a Trump supporter, but they're pushing us to him. They are, because where else do we have to go?
I mean, I will literally say
this whole resistance and Antifa and the social media post I saw today that just killed me, and I'm trying to remember where it came from, but it doesn't even matter where it came from. It basically said it basically said that the racist, anti-gay, conservative got shot. It was deserved. That's basically what the post said. Really? So you think that your fellow American that got shot, you think that was deserved? Honestly? I mean, aren't we all Americans? Are we not all Americans?
Not according to them, because you're only American if you support what they if you support and believe everything that they do. That's why they're still excusing what happened in Alexandria this week. And I don't care what anybody else tells me. From my experiences and from talking to the people that I've talked to and the interactions I've gotten on social media, at least 70% of the people that I've interacted with from the left think that we deserve it because we're the ones that don't want to do anything about guns.
Yeah, we are the problem because we believe in what the founders believed in. We're the problem because they want socialism. They want absolute socialism, which leads to absolute communism. But we are the problem. This country is maybe the greatest, not maybe, it is the greatest experiment in not just politics, but just life in general. And they want to ruin it. They want to be like the rest of the world. Why do we have to be like the rest of the world? Why? Why can't we be what we were founded on?
Because it's not fair. You have to realize everything that they do is through the prism of fairness. That's why when we tell them, because they don't want equal opportunity, that's not what they want. They want equal outcome. Our Bill of Rights, our Constitution, our Declaration of Independence, all of those things together guarantee that we have the rights to life, liberty, and the pursuit of happiness. Not a guarantee of happiness, but a pursuit of happiness. And whether we get there or not, or how we get there or not, is supposed to be up to us. But they don't want that. They want the government to tell you what you should have. They want the government to tell you what you should be happy about, because that's what they want. That's what they need. That's why they are the ones that want to turn everything over to the government. And what scares me the most lately about the gun control thing is it seems like they're the ones that lately, anytime a news story breaks about somebody doing a shooting, guess who it is? It's not a conservative. It's not a crazy person. You know, I had that shoved up my rectum sideways today in the middle of an argument. Well, did you forget about the Timothy McVeigh bombing? No, I didn't, because I live in frickin' Oklahoma City. I was there. I was supposed to be in that building that day. But how long ago was that? And did the right cheer the way the left's cheering right now? No, we wept. We wanted justice. And then what about in 2015 when that crazy guy shot up the abortion clinic with an assault rifle? What about it? Because I remember speaking out against that. I remember lots of conservatives speaking out against that. I don't remember there being any hashtags trending about hunting Republicans and hunting Republican congressmen in 2015. Twitter was still around in 2015. I know, because that's when I joined Twitter. So there was the possibility that it could have been a trending hashtag, but it wasn't, because that's not how we operate. And I'm tired of I'm tired of the equivocation.
Right. I asked a guy today, I said, send me the trending hashtag of us hunting Democrats. Send it. I want to see it. What did I get? Crickets. I do not like violence in any way that's political. It's not the way it's not the way this country is supposed to work. If there is right-wing violence, I have a problem with it. If there's left-wing violence, I have a problem with it. Yes, I blame the individual. I do. I blame the individual. But what are his influences? I mean, the guy was in a group.
Yeah, called Terminate
Republicans. The guy
Republicans.
was in a freaking group called Terminate the Republicans. I mean, look at the name. Terminate the Republicans. And you know what he did? He went out there and tried to terminate Republicans. I don't care. I understand. He is the perpetrator. He's the one that did it. He's the one, personal responsibility, boom. He's the one that did it. But there were influences there. When members of Congress are calling for blood on the streets, there's a problem. The end. There is a problem. Crazy people are crazy people. Crazy people listen to what people say.
I know that
You're
this is
in
a time of great
called
fear and uncertainty
Terminate
for so
the
many.
Republicans.
My bad. I don't understand what people don't see about that. I get it. Yes, as an individual, he's responsible. But there is a group from Facebook that is now being investigated by the FBI. You know why they're being investigated by the FBI? Because he was a member of it, and the group was called Terminate the Republicans. And that's what he tried to do. It's a group like ISIS. It's a group. They put it out there. Terminate the Republicans. That is a problem. Well,
I don't see any Republican groups saying terminate the Democrats. I don't see that. That's what people don't understand. I got into it with my own brother over this.
Well, no,
there is a problem out there. I'm not saying that there isn't a problem on the right. There is. There is a problem on the right. But most of the right understands that problem. I don't hear the left speaking out for the most part. I really don't.
Well, you just kind of made me have a bit of an epiphany, because the fact that there was a group called Terminate Republicans that this gentleman was a part of, and I use the term gentleman loosely, and then he chose to go purchase, steal, beg, borrow firearms, brandish them in public, shoot them in public, both of which are crimes, shoot people with them, which is also a crime, and now he's dead because he tried to do something that was illegal and he got shot by police, and the left's response is to start a hashtag trending called Hunt Republican Congressman.
Right.
Look at the social media corollaries there. So a guy that was part of a group called Terminate Republicans is ultimately shot and killed while trying to terminate Republicans, and the left's response is to start a hashtag trending called Hunt Republican Congressman. And I'm supposed to be okay with this.
And we're supposed to be okay with it. Everything's cool. Whatever. Everything's fine. I'm sick of this crap. I almost said it, didn't I?
Yeah, that's all right.
Of this crap.
It's one of those nights, so there may be some editing that has to happen anyway. I mean, look, folks, I just to kind of, because here's the thing: we're being blamed for this because this is Trump's fault. Trump was too visceral. Trump was too angry. Trump said things like, punch the guy in the face. I wish I could punch the guy in the face. I'll pay your legal fees if you punch him in the face. You know what? I get it. That's part of the reason why I didn't vote for Trump. That's what I've been saying now for the last few days. You guys are acting like we are all the same. The difference between us and you is you will sit back, you will smirk, and you will not say a word while telling us, well, you're just as bad. And that's my problem, because if I think something is just as bad, I will talk about it. I will talk about it openly. I will talk about it publicly, just like I did during the McVeigh bombing and in the McVeigh hearings, and just like I have every single time there's been a news story about an abortion clinic coming under attack. Because it's wrong. Murder is wrong no matter what the justification is. That's a problem. The fact, especially when it's political ideology that is motivating other people to start killing people within the same country, those are the things that have always happened elsewhere. In banana republics, in crazy places where they don't have democracy. And that's the problem, is we're moving away from democracy. Because the left doesn't want democracy. The left doesn't want a republic. The left wants mob rule. And if they can't get it from the ballot box, they're going to get it through violence. And they've proved it. Now let's rewind. 2008. When we lost, what did we do? Did we riot? Did we loot? Did we burn things? Did we break things? No, we organized. We started the Tea Party movement. We started peacefully protesting 99.9% of the time. And yet we were the ones that were branded as fear-mongering, Bible-toting, gun-thumping, or Bible-thumping, gun-toting, Islamophobists, and whatever else they wanted to throw at us. Now,
racist.
Yeah, that too. So, fast forward to 2012. We lost again. Did we riot? Did we burn things? Did we break things? Did we blow things up? No, didn't do any of that. Fast forward to 2016. Hillary Clinton. If the Republican Party refuses to accept it, when I beat Donald Trump, then they will be the enemy. So what happens when your side refuses to accept the fact that you lost to Donald Trump? They rioted. They broke things. They've basically been in all-out urban warfare ever since. I don't remember anybody from the Tea Party breaking somebody's jaw with a bike lock. And yet they have. I don't remember anybody from the Tea Party opening fire on Democratic congressmen. Yet they have. This is a problem.
Or walking up to a Trump supporter who's giving an interview with a TV reporter and just macing them in the face. Because they're a Trump supporter. The Antifa, which is supposed to stand for anti-fascist, are the epitome of fascism. They are the epitome of fascism. The left needs to get themselves under control. I see people on the left actually going, what is going on over here? It's crazy. It's absolutely crazy to watch that video, and it's just a few months old now, and if we had video capabilities, I would love to post it. Literally, this girl who was a Trump supporter is talking to a reporter, and some Antifa idiot walks up and pepper sprays her right in the face on camera. I mean, that is fascism. That right there is fascism, and they call themselves anti-fascism. That is fascism.
But that's what the left does, though.
That if you think that your activities are helping things, no. It's pushing people like you and me, Rick. It's pushing people like you and me towards supporting POTUS.
Dude, they
That's
are.
what it does.
The scary thing about this, because you know how anti-Trump I was until the day that he won the election, they are dragging me towards this man kicking and screaming, because I still, you know, I want to be objective, because there's things that he's done that I like, there are things that he's done that I don't like. But watching what's being played out right now is driving me insane. We are literally, and then we need to take a break, but I want to close out on this point. We are, because, you know, everybody's talking about this play that's government, that has taxpayer funding, where they are basically redoing Julius Caesar with a modern slant, and I guess Trump is the one being assassinated. For everybody kind of freaking out about that, that's kind of been a common thing. They actually did that with Obama, and I believe with Bush too, but nobody really said anything then. Now, it is a different environment now, so it does have a slightly different connotation, because Obama and Bush weren't under attack the way that Trump is now. But the scariest thing is we're actually watching the political version of the assassination of Julius Caesar right now. Bear with me and I'll explain. So we're watching the left, who hated Comey, wanted Comey fired. We're calling for his head on a pike. Donald Trump waits for both the Attorney General and the Deputy Attorney General to make their recommendations about Comey. They felt they couldn't trust him, so they recommended that he fire him. Donald Trump fires Comey. All of a sudden, the left is in love with Comey again. Now, because Comey has made allegations that he feels he was fired because Trump wants to obstruct the Russian probe, even though Trump specifically said, I don't want to change anything with the Russian probe. But as a matter of fact, if you need anything else, please let me know. The one thing I would like to say is I hope you can see your way clear to realize that Michael Flynn is actually a really good guy. And that was the extent of that conversation, but somehow that's being construed as obstruction. But now, because Sessions has recused himself, one of the guys that made the recommendation that Trump fires Comey is the one that is now initiating an investigation into the fact that Trump fired Comey. This is insanity.
Yeah. It's total insanity. I'm watching all this, and while we're watching all of this, what's getting done?
Nothing.
What in the government is getting done? Nothing.
Kind of sounds like that.
Yep. It's. I saw posts on social media about how so and so and so and so and so and so, and you go down the line of presidents. How long did it take them to get to a 60% disapproval rating? Yeah. What chance has Trump had? He hasn't had a chance. He hasn't had a chance to do anything because everything in the news, everything in the media, everything is anti-Trump. It's all anti-Trump. It makes me go, okay, I'm behind this guy. Because this guy that I rallied against forever, and now you're forcing me to be behind him because you won't even give him a chance. Nobody will give him a chance. Give him a freaking chance and let him do something and stop with all this crap. Stop with all this resistance crap. I'm done with it. It's over. If you have on social media, if you have resistance in your bio, you mean nothing to me. Your opinion means nothing to me. I don't care about your opinion. Take your opinion and throw it out the window. I don't care anymore. I don't care. Because your opinion is shrieking. I don't even know where to go with it from there. It's you're shrieking. That's all you're doing. Is you're shrieking. You can't get a positive from 100% negative. You can't. I gave Obama a chance.
We all did. I mean,
I absolutely gave him a chance, and he did very little to sway me. Very little. But I gave him a chance. I never wished death against any of his supporters. I never
yelled at the people that hung him
wished
out.
death against him. I'm done with this crap.
I mean, look, let's back up to the Obama thing again, because in 2008, and then we really do need to take a commercial because we keep saying we're going to do it, we haven't done it. In 2008, when Barack Obama gave his victory speech, I listened intently to the things that he said, and I wanted to believe the things that he said because he said all the right things. He literally did. I had a Chris Matthews moment because he was saying all the right things. I was like, you know what? Maybe this isn't going to be as bad as I thought. He's saying everything that a president needs to say. And I gave him a shot. I congratulated him, just like we all did. The whole country congratulated our first black president. And one of the very first media moments the guy has is calling cops stupid. And for those of you that know my background, you know how well that sat with me. Because you don't do that. I don't give a... I don't care. Unless you have done the job. Unless you have been in a position where you have had to decide whether it's going to be you or somebody else that goes home, or unless you are pulling up on what the media so often likes to call a routine traffic stop, which I'm sorry, there is no such thing as a routine traffic stop, unless you've gone through that stuff, and unless you know what it feels like to realize that at any given moment, by doing your job, you could not go home, then you don't have the right, under any circumstances, especially without knowing what happened, to pop off behind the biggest microphone on the planet and say, well, in my opinion, these cops acted stupidly. And he did that countless times. That was when President Obama lost me. Which I think was sadly only about 30 or 45 days into his presidency, but I don't have the timeline in front of me. But anyway, we really did.
But did you call for his death?
Nope, not one time. I actually railed against the people that were hanging him in effigy, because that was the left was posting those pictures all the time. Oh my God, look at these evil right-wing Republicans! They're hanging Obama in effigy. Well, did you forget about the times that you burned President Bush in effigy? But yeah, that's really crappy. They probably shouldn't do that. Sure. All right, so as promised, we really are taking a commercial before I forget again, because it's been a ranty, splody, heady kind of day. But we'll be back because we still got more to talk about.
The following message contains a special offer for listeners of this station. Are you a man over 40? Are you constantly looking for the nearest bathroom? Do you wake up multiple times a night to use the bathroom? Right now, Perfect Prostate is sending out free bottles of their groundbreaking new formula to listeners of this station. Perfect Prostate formula was developed by medical doctor Mitchell Fleischer, and its ingredients have been clinically studied to reduce your frequent nighttime bathroom visits and promote healthy urine flow. Right now, preferred customers get their first bottle of Perfect Prostate absolutely free. There's nothing to lose. Perfect Prostate is guaranteed to reduce that constant urge to use the bathroom, especially at night, and promote healthy urine flow. Don't wait. Call now for your free bottle. Just pay shipping and processing. Dial 1-800-675-0251. That's 1-800-675-0251. Supplies are limited. One free bottle per household. Call now. Dial 1-800-675-0251. That's 1-800-675-0251.
Tired of paying outrageous prices for Viagra? Well, we have great news for you. Now you can finally get Viagra at huge discounts. Healthy Man allows you to save up to $500 on Viagra. Why pay U.S. pharmacy prices of $15 per pill or more when you can get Viagra for less than $3 a pill? Call today and get 40 Viagra pills for only $99. This can cost as much as $600 at your local pharmacy. You can't afford not to call us. If you want Viagra at the lowest prices, never pay $15 a pill pharmacy prices again. Get Viagra for less than $3 a pill. Call 1-800-516-7602 today and save up to $500 and get 40 pills for just $99. Healthy Man is fast, easy, and affordable. Operators are waiting at 1-800-516-7602 to take your call right now. Call 1-800-516-7602. That's 1-800-516-7602. Again, 1-800-516-7602.
Every day, the men and women of the United States Marine Corps stand ready to defend the American way of life. The few, the proud, the Marines.
Hey folks, I want to introduce you to a friend of mine, Dr. Richard Harden. We are on the same mission, which is waking up America. We just have different paths. So stay tuned for some information on how you can keep up with Richard and all his work.
Visit Richard's website at raharden.com. That's the World Wide Web at RAHARDIN.com. At his website, you can see a summary of the 6 books he has written, where purchases may be made. He also has a link to 18 videos on YouTube and several blogs about Christian beliefs. If you prefer, visit Amazon.com/Kindle and type in Richard Harden to see and purchase his books.
Here's George Foreman with InventHelp.
Hi, I'm George Foreman. Do you have an idea for a new product or invention? People ask me all the time, George, how do I get my idea in front of companies? How do I get a patent? What do I do next? Do you have the same questions? I'll tell you like I'll tell them all. Call my friends at InventHelp.
Call InventHelp today for free information. InventHelp has been helping inventors for more than 30 years and has sales offices nationwide. InventHelp can submit your invention to companies who are interested in receiving new ideas. If you have an idea and want to try to patent it and submit it to companies, you should call InventHelp today for free information.
Listen, I can't guarantee a company will be interested in your idea, but I believe every inventor deserves the opportunity to step into the ring and take their best shot. Put InventHelp in your corner.
Get your free inventor's information. Call 1-800-353-6490. That's 1-800-353-6490. Again, 1-800-353-6490.
That 30 or 45 seconds of dead air was brought to you by a ranting session that was happening off air, and the guy running the board didn't realize we had run out of commercials. My deepest apologies. That would be me. Alright, so we are back. We are live, and we have kind of been all over the map, but most of it's been centering around the fact that the world has gone to hell, and most people are making excuses, and I, for one, am done making excuses.
I am too. I mean, I don't agree with extremism on either side. And I am sick and tired of being called a Nazi. I'm sick and tired of being called a progressive. I'm sick and tired of being called every name in the freaking book. I'm tired of it. I'm a constitutionalist, and that's where I stand. I stand on the Constitution, and if anybody has a problem with it, come at me. The right comes at me, the left comes at me, I don't even care anymore. Come at me. It's the problem really comes down to media. The media sensationalizes the alt-right. The media sensationalizes the resistance. They sensationalize everything, and there's a bunch of us, you, me, people we know, people on the left, that are stuck in the middle. Sensationalism needs to stop. And this resistance movement, the Antifa movement, the alt-right movement, all of it needs to stop getting attention. If you stop the attention, things might calm down a little bit. But that's what gets the attention. It's what gets the attention. Stop paying attention to it. The media needs to stop. I mean, really, the alt-right is maybe at most a tenth of the conservative side of things. A tenth. But what gets all the attention? The alt-right. The Antifa and resistance movement on the left is bigger. But that's what gets the attention too. Stop the attention. On both sides, stop the attention. if you stop giving them attention, then it might go away.
See,
I said something on social media today. I said, this is what I have a problem with. I have a problem with the alt-right. I have a problem with the resistance. I have a problem with mainstream media. The end. That's all it's all about. Make it go away. Just make it go away. You keep feeding both sides, then they grow.
See, well, the thing about it is, and I understand what you're saying, if we could find a way to starve the attention for folks like the alt-right and the Antifa, they might go away. But the problem is, this is another one of those scenarios, much like the gun. Once the genie's out of the bottle, there's no way to put it back in. Even if we starve their sources of attention, they're just going to find a way to get more attention. And unfortunately, I think that means they would continue to turn more and more violent until they just were, whatever happened would happen. Because that's the problem. This is no different than when you are raising a child and you don't show them proper boundaries. We've had an entire generation that do not understand boundaries. That is the fault of the parents, first and foremost, because a lot of parents have just been kind of, well, I'll give in. Going all the way back to the incident, his first name was Michael. I can't think of his last name. The big burly guy that was trying to wrestle with the cop and dove into his window through his car. And it was
Michael Brown.
Yeah, Michael Brown. And what it was he ran into a real life instance where all of his life, because he was so much bigger than everybody else, if he pushed hard enough, eventually anybody and everybody backed away, I'm sure. But he ran into someone who couldn't because it was his job not to. And ultimately it led to him dying. These are the same things that we're seeing now. We have this entire group of people that are so angered and so incensed that they want to do nothing but push the boundaries of anything and everything as far and as fast as they possibly can. And it's really starting to alienate about 80% of the country, but most of them are just sitting here in shock with their mouths hanging open, and the only ones that we hear anything from are the most vocal ones, and most of them sound just as crazy as the guy that just went on a shooting spree.
Yep. I was very involved with the whole Ferguson thing. And, they portrayed him as the gentle giant, everything else. The man jumped through a squad car window and tried to grab a cop's gun. They posted pictures of him, his high school picture, and this angelic, whatever. There's video of him basically strong arm robbing convenience stores. There's videos of him making drug deals. But they got the public to believe he's just this gentle kid, and let's post his graduation pictures, and he's so sweet and innocent. No. He literally jumped through a squad car window and tried to grab the cop's gun. This poor cop, Wilson, his whole life was turned upside down by this whole event. His life was turned upside down. Him, his wife, his kids, everything. Life turned upside down over him protecting his own life against this guy. But
somehow he's the bad guy.
Poor guy.
You know, a similar incident. A similar incident happened here in Tulsa a few months back. There was a female police officer that was involved in a traffic stop, and she was giving the subject basic commands, and he was refusing to acknowledge or even respond to her basic commands. And she kept telling him, "Turn around, face away from me with your palms out, and back towards me," because she was going to detain him. Well, he turns around, walks towards his truck, opens the door, and starts reaching into the truck. She had no idea what he was reaching for, so she opened fire. She faced charges because she shot a man who wound up, at the time, being determined to be unarmed. And she was tried, convicted, and hung in the media. But come to find out, 2 weeks later, the toxicology reports came back, and the dude was on PCP. This dude was like 6'3" and 240 some odd pounds. I don't know if you've ever dealt with anybody on PCP, but I've seen them take 3 full taser charges and still keep coming.
I watched something happen in Fairfax County, Virginia. A guy on PCP was going crazy. A female cop approached him, and he laid her out. Completely laid her out. One punch, laid her out. And then I watched 6 more cops take him to the ground and beat the hell out of him and take him to jail. He broke her jaw. You know, this is what cops deal with.
Every day.
And people don't get it. People don't get it. They you know, people say, "Oh, bad cops, bad cops." Whatever. Bad cops. How many sworn peace officers are there in this country?
634,000 to patrol over 30 some odd million. What's our population count? 34 million, I think. It's roughly like it's like, I don't know. I can't do the math in my head. It's funny that you asked that because I just heard the numbers on the way home from work, but I don't have them in front of me. I know it's like 640 some odd thousand sworn peace officers versus the entire population of the country.
Right. And of all of those 640,000, how many are bad cops?
Now, hang on.
You know, I mean...
Hang on, stay with me, and then I'll let you have the mic back, because you just made me think of something. So remember, you know, 644,000, I think, was around the number that I heard today. So out of that, how many cops are actually bad cops? But every single bad cop represents all cops, but this guy that just shot up Congress doesn't represent all of liberals. I'm confused about how their mind works.
But he does. But you know what he does represent? He represents all gun owners.
Yeah, that too.
According to the left, he represents all gun owners. And we need to have our guns taken away from us.
Yeah, well, the only reason the left wants our guns taken away from us is they realize that they're the side that apparently can't be trusted with guns, and they're afraid at some point if they keep coming after us, we don't miss. Oh, damn, I'm sorry. Did I say that out loud? Because I said I wasn't going to say that out loud, but then I said it out loud anyway.
No, you said that out loud, and it's fine. I'm at the point where I try not to get to the point where I am totally just everything left sucks. I'm trying not to get to that point. But I'm getting pushed to that point. I really am. You know, I'm almost starting to understand the complete and total Trump support.
Recently this month, California.
I'm not there. I'm not at the point where I agree with it, but it's insane. It's totally insane. Everything right now is totally insane.
Okay, I don't do this often, but your former co-host is at it again. He just put on your former co-host. Remember the guy that you used to do a radio show with before you started doing the one over here? He just put a nice little tweet out on Twitter, and I'm just gonna have to say it's just crazy. So it will take years to undo the damage Trump has caused. Destroying Obama's legacy is his idea of getting things done.
He's a nut.
So somehow he had the world convinced that he was conservative. I'm still not quite sure how he managed to pull that off. Anyway. Sorry. Didn't mean to interrupt. It just kind of made me chuckle.
He's a McMullen wackadoodle.
Yeah, he's a McMullen whacking something. Oh wait, damn, that was probably something else I should have said. My bad. Okay, yeah. See, now my really don't care what I say on Twitter thing is starting to rotate over to the radio, so it's probably a good thing we're just about out of time. We got about 5 minutes left. Anything else you want to touch on?
I mean, not really. I mean, we kind of started with the whole, Guy Benson and everything else, and that's just really. I have, I'm friends with on social media and in my real life with quite a few gay conservatives, and to watch the LGBTQ and the left shut them out and essentially call them Uncle Toms because they're conservative really it's disheartening. It is. I mean, we're all Americans, every one of us, and it just, to watch Guy Benson really go off and basically say, and everybody will know what this means, basically say, GFY, and he's not that kind of person.
I had a JD flashback.
Yeah. I mean, really, things are rough right now. And the whole Trump is going to destroy everything and we're all going to die attitude really needs to stop. He's the president of the United States. He is. There's also Congress, the Senate, the Supreme Court. It's all there. You're not going to lose your life over this. Just freaking stop.
So
it needs to stop. Let him be the president. He got duly elected president. Stop with all of it. There's no collusion. He didn't collude with Russia to win the election. There's none of it. It's ridiculous. Just stop. Let him be president. If he's a good president, he'll get reelected. If he's a sucky president, he won't. The end. That's how this country works.
So let's back up for a second because you were talking about the fact that the liberals who don't like gay conservatives were calling them Uncle Toms and house Negroes and all the other things. But let's take this to its logical conclusion for just a second, because right now the left is making a giant push to get refugees into this country, most of which happen to be practicing Muslims. And they're doing that because they're eyeing a new voter bloc. If they know they can get them in here, then eventually they're going to be able to get them to vote. But the thing that they don't seem to care about, or maybe that's what they're rooting for, is the more of a Muslim population we get in here, the more we're going to have situations like they have in Europe right now, where there are people that they have no-go zones, where the police don't even go there because those neighborhoods are monitored and dealt with by Muslims only, for Muslims only, and they adhere to Sharia law. Now, the Sharia law is antithetical to our Constitution. But that doesn't change the fact that if enough of them get in here, because this is the part that nobody pays attention to, when Muslims come into a country, they don't immigrate to a country, they colonize a country. There's a huge difference. They do not come in to be a part of the country. They come in being separate from the country. And that is what they are commanded to do, is to bring enough of them over that eventually they can overwhelm the numbers. And if you don't believe me, go all the way back to the original dealings of Muhammad with the Persians, because he struck a truce with them when he was too weak to be able to defeat them. And then when he built up enough numbers, he came back, broke the truce with them, and took everything over. Now that is how they operate. That is still how they operate to this day. But the part that the leftists either don't care about or aren't focusing on is the same people that are telling us, well, we're the tolerant ones because we want them to be able to marry whoever they want to marry, and we want them to be able to adopt children, and we want them to be able to do this and do that. And your Christian group inside your party, they don't want them to be able to do those things. So you guys are basically a hate group. You guys are eventually wanting to bring enough people over here that we'll start finding them, rounding them up, and throwing them off of the tallest buildings in town. But somehow we're the hate group. I'm confused.
Yeah, I am too. I don't get it. I'm looking at people like Sally Cohn and pretty much most of anybody at MSNBC.
You mean MSLSC?
They don't get it. They don't. They're clueless. Their agenda drives them to approve of an agenda that is against them, just to spite the other side. That's what it is. No matter what the right says, the left is going to say it's wrong. No matter what. No matter what. And that's a problem on the right, is that the right is too quick. The Republicans are too quick to give in and say, okay, we'll give you some concessions here. We'll give you some concessions there. And then listen to the left say, oh, God, there's not enough concessions. Where did the left give any concessions? In the last 9 years, where did the left give any concessions? That's what I want to know.
They don't. I mean, but see, that's the difference between the right and the left. We have this appeasement mentality for the most part, and that's kind of what I've let go of for the last couple of days. Because I mean, I've even seen people that I respect that are like, well, let's not forget, the right's just as bad. You know what? They lost the chance to make that argument, because I don't see them as a whole decrying the guy that did this. I did see in 2015 when some crazy idiot shot up an abortion clinic, most of the right stand up and say, you know what, I'm opposed to abortion, and I'll be the first one to tell you that, but this was wrong. That's honestly what has me the most angry is 48 hours. About 50 some odd hours ago now. This should have been a turning point for the country. This should have been a point where everybody said, you know what, that was wrong. That should not have happened. It doesn't matter what the letter is behind your name. You do not deserve to be shot at, especially when you're practicing for a charity event, playing the national pastime in the middle of the safest country on earth. You do not deserve to be shot at by a crazy person. I don't care who you are or what it is that you stand for. And that should have been the consensus. That should have been the consensus, but it wasn't. And God help me, I don't know why I did this, but yesterday on the way home, because I have like a free trial of Sirius for like another 4 or 5 days, because when I got the new car, they were like, hey, you can have this free for 2 months, no credit card. I'm like, sweet, I'll check it out. I've been pulling ideas for advertisers off of there. But that's a story for another day. But so I turned to this channel called Progress, and I heard this guy, Dean of Comedy, that is actually someone that I know through some tourist exchanges from JD, because they used to run in the same kind of circles back when JD used to do stand-up. I had no idea this guy was on Sirius, and I started listening yesterday, and the first words out of his mouth was, "This is all Trump's fault." Yes, it's ultimately the response of the gunman too, or the responsibility of the gunman too, but this is all Trump's fault, and this is all the Republicans' fault, and maybe now they'll start listening about how we need gun control, and we need this, and we need that. Not once did he ever say, you know what, this man does not represent me. Just like every other conservative, anytime anything bad happens, if it's somebody that we even think might possibly be conservative, we're like, hey, nope, doesn't represent me. I don't know where he got the idea from, what happened, nope, not us. And we do that almost to the nanosecond in unison. And you know what they do? They flip us the bird and say, now, you want some gun control, bitches? Because look what just happened and it's all your fault. No, screw you. I didn't have anything to do with this. I respect gun laws. I don't brandish my weapon. I don't fire it recklessly in public, much less despite what the former vice president gave someone the advice to do. Grr. Sorry, ranty again. And we're long, so do you want to keep going, or?
No, actually, I have to get up in the morning and find a place to live.
That's why I was asking, because I knew you had some stuff going on. Of course, we're like 5 minutes over, so I'm just going to start trying to wind things down. So why don't you remind folks where it is that they can hang out with you when you're not on the radio hanging out with me, while you have your account for the next 2.5. Just playing.
Yes. While I have my account for the next day or two. You can find me on Twitter at MadFeist, which is MADFIEST. And you can find me on Facebook but you can find me on Facebook at Daniel Wright. And it's a private account, but, it is what it is. And on Facebook also at Dan Wright, which is at Feed Right Off. I'm not savvy with Facebook, but apparently that's how you can find me. And you can hear me on Wednesday nights on the right side, right here on KLRNradio.com.
And I, of course, am Rick Robinson. You can find me here. There's pretty much not a day you can't find me here. We are on Monday through Thursday on America Off the Rails at 11 p.m. Eastern. We are on Tuesdays and Thursdays at 10 p.m. Eastern on the Jen and Rick Show. And we are on Friday nights right here on this one, Robinson and Wright. And, of course, if you haven't checked it out on the weekends, where America Off the Rails is actually over on crntalk.com. 10 p.m. Eastern, 9 Central, 7 Pacific. We are making a big push over there with the help of the programming director over there. America Off the Rails is about to start being sought for syndication and push into 200 terrestrial markets. We have the go-ahead to start putting advertisers there to make way to put the show there. And the sooner we get things rolling, the sooner we can expand the show, and the sooner we can add more advertisers. So if you are interested in putting your commercials or your advertisements on a network that already reaches 11.5 million homes, and your commercials will also air at least 2 to 3 times a day on 200 terrestrial stations, then I would strongly encourage you to shoot me either a tweet or an email at rick@klrnradio.com, and we can sit down and hash something out. But on that note, because I honestly feel like I have been fighting from all sides for the last 72 hours, I will probably unplug a bit for the next day or so. So I will see you guys when I see you. And if nothing else, I will be back here live again Monday night. Want to thank everybody for taking the time to tune in. Also want to remind folks, if you missed last week's episode, I do encourage you to check it out. We actually had Politibunny Sam Janney, who is returning to KLRN Radio here in just a little less than 2 weeks. On Wednesday nights, she's actually going to become the leadoff So we'll have 5 hours of live programming back to back on Wednesdays. And it will be awesome. And honestly, that is one of the most listened to shows we have had in a while. So I want to thank everybody who's already listened. But if you've missed it, you can go back and check it. You can find the show page by going and clicking on the link that looks like the picture. It'll take you straight to the archived episodes on the website. And you are welcome to listen to as many of them if you want, as you want. If you like the shows, tell your friends, and to steal a line from Grouchy for a moment, if your friends like our shows, you probably need better friends, but they and you are welcome with us every time we're on the air, and thank you to everybody that takes the time to listen, hang out, talk, chat, and everything in between. Until I see you again, take care, good night, God bless, and no matter what, don't let the liberals make you too crazy, because I know they're starting to get to me. We're out.